What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Swisher, and I am super stoked today. Why, do you ask? Because today is the official launch of episode 1 of the Nick Swisher Show, baby. Let's go. Man, this has been so much work for so many different people. And right off the bat, I want to thank each and every one of y'all from the bottom of my heart. You guys, along with our amazing guests this season, have made this experience absolutely fucking awesome. I can't thank you guys enough. Woo. Now that that's off my chest, ladies and gentlemen, let's get at it. I am so excited as well as proud to present to you the Nick Swisher Show. For those of you that know me from my 13 years spent in Major League Baseball, what up, man? So good to see you guys. Thanks for coming back. And for those of you that don't, oh my God, you are in for a treat. I am so excited to meet you, spend some time with you, and hopefully as we go on this journey together as a community, learn a few things along the way. This is going to be absolutely awesome. So real quick, for those of you that don't know, a little background on myself. I was able to spend 13 years of my life having the best time ever playing Major League Baseball. Listen, it was a dream come true. I felt like a little kid out there every single day. The highlight coming in 2009 with my teammates from the New York Yankees able to climb to the top of the mountain and raise that World Series trophy, baby. It was absolutely amazing, especially in New York. I was fortunate enough to make an all-star team along the way. But I was so grateful for the experiences as well as the friendships along the way, man. Something I'll never, ever forget. I am honored and fortunate to be married for 12 years to the most beautiful woman, baby, inside and out, right? A woman who sets the bar each and every day. Just a woman you want to be around every single day in your life. By far the best decision I have ever made. Her name is Jo. She is the absolute jam. And by her side, we have been able to become parents of two of the coolest kiddos you would ever want to meet. My two daughters, Emerson J. Joe calls her Emmy J. I call her Champ. And Sailor Stevie. We both call her Sebe. Listen, if you don't feel pumped up and ready to kick today's ass by the end of this podcast, then that's my fault, y'all. I'll work on that. If you know me, you know I carry a ton of passion into everything I do. Whether that's my family, my team, my community, I am all in. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going all in. Check it. We've got an amazing lineup of guests, from scientists to psychologists, from current athletes to former All-Stars and Hall of Famers, from authors to actors. Listen, everybody, if you know them, we got them right here. I mean, we're tackling topics like the differences between coaching young athletes compared to coaching professional athletes. How to live your life with intention, how to make sure you know how to be aware of where you are in the moment. Maybe you need some mental health tips just to help get you unstuck. Maybe the last couple of years have knocked you down. This podcast was made to be inspirational, uplifting, or listen, maybe you just want to hear a little different perspective. Whatever you're looking for, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you we got it right here. Whether it's our Swishermations at the beginning of the show, these are little affirmations to start your week, to tips and tricks from our interviews. And listen, I can promise you we have some unbelievable experiences and tips coming in. My goal for everyone listening to this podcast is to take something away from this, learn something, apply it to your life, and start kicking ass. Listen, when we leave here today, I want our hair on fire with the intention of living a better life and accepting nothing less. And guys, this is a journey for all of us. We're riding this thing together, so I don't want you to feel like you're alone. I can't wait to learn some amazing things along the way as well. Like and subscribe to the show, and let me know what you want to hear, what you guys want to learn, or what guests you guys want to have on. I mean, you know me. There's nothing off the table or impossible. Whatever you guys want, we will try to make it happen. To be successful in this category, we need your help. So let's get this thing going. Every week, we're going to start off with something I call the Swishermation. Just a little play off the word affirmation. Because not only am I a huge believer in affirmations, but because I believe we all need a little something each and every week to get us pumped up from time to time. Whether we're about to get the kids ready for the day, getting some early reps in the field, maybe you got to the gym ultra early today, or just kicking off the everyday grind. Trust me, I get it. I've been part of it, and that's exactly why I'm here. So for the first ever Swishermation, I thought it was only fitting to talk about taking the first step. So here it is. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I've thought about this a lot lately because trust me, having the faith to take the first step really makes all the difference. And I'm taking the first step today with this brand new podcast. Trust me, y'all, I was scared shitless. I had a ton of nerves, but why talk yourself out of taking the first step? What good is that going to do you, right? The first step might sometimes be uncomfortable, but around here, we're going 2 feet in. We said we're all in, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Because if you can believe it, you can become it. So, guys, this first interview, I could not be more stoked. This man about to come on here is absolutely one of my favorites, and he will be one of your favorites too. He is by far, in my mind, one of the best in his field. And if there's anybody in the world that can talk more than me, then, ladies and gentlemen, it might be this man right here. Listen, we talk about a lot of topics, including the new MLB playoff format. We talk about our struggles as well as, his successes in the postseason. And we even get some predictions on where some of the hottest free agents will land in 2023. You know what, man? I'm not even going to waste any more time. My man, Brett, get that interview rolling. All right, everyone. Listen, I could not be more stoked for this one. This guy is my guy. He's a 3-time All-Star Major Leaguer, one of MLB's top analysts, who you can thankfully watch all postseason long on MLB Network. He's absolutely destroying it right now. He has his own podcast, The Mayor's Office. Shocker, he is the mayor, right? Available on all platforms. Everybody go check that out, please. I want to send some love to his wife, his 3 children. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the mayor himself, the pride of Upper St. Clair High School, the University of Richmond. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my guy, Mr. Sean Casey. What's good, brother?
Dude, let's go, Swish. I mean, that is an intro right there, brother. That is an intro right there. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Bro, I'm doing absolutely amazing, bro. This whole new podcast world has been absolutely fantastic, bro. Diving into a lot of different aspects, the whole nine. But being able to bring someone like you on to talk a little postseason baseball, bro. One of the best analysts I know, one of the funnest guys I know, and one of the most genuine dudes I know. Could not be more happy to have you here, bro.
Dude, right back at you, Swish. And before we get going, and dude, me too. I love the podcast thing. I love talking to our buddies, talking baseball. It's the greatest thing. But, bro, for me, friend to friend, brother, a guy that I love, you're one of my favorite guys of all time. I saw you out there in Yankee Stadium with the flag. I mean, I was watching like, there's Swish with the flag. It's dark in Yankee Stadium, and then bam, they bring dude, what was that like, bro? Seriously.
Yo, come on. It was one of the more epic moments of my life. Listen, I got the phone call on Monday afternoon, said, hey, Swish, can you fly up on Tuesday? We want to do this amazing thing, which is so different because the Yankees, we don't normally do that sort of stuff. We're more buttoned up in the whole night. Right. Matter of fact, I think Joel Sherman or somebody wrote an article about like how it was tacky that we did that, which I thought was
Joel.
Sour grapes, bro, for sure. But it was just one of those things where I was like, oh my God, this could not be more up my alley. And being able to be the guy that the Yankees wanted to do that, oh my God, man. It was like I told you, man, I felt for a hot minute like I could float, bro. Like I literally thought I was going to float off the ground right into the upper deck, high five a bunch of people, and then float back down, you know?
Well, dude, what was cool was we could feel your energy through the TV. Like, and I was like, who better than for Swish to go out there with the flag and just ripping it away in Yankee Stadium? So, dude, from me to you, man, that must have been super cool, man. Gosh,
it was awesome, incredible. Bro. It was such an amazing honor. And, not only that, but being able to get to go against the Guardians, one of my old teams, to be able to see a lot of people that you haven't seen in a while. You know that, man. When you go back to the ballpark, it's so great to be able to see everybody.
Yeah, you love running. It's funny. You love running into guys. I did with the Roberto Clemente Jr. on Roberto Clemente Day at Citi Field at the end. I did the preseason. The pregame for MLB Network, and all those guys are back. So it was like just a bunch of guys. Seeing Rick Sutcliffe and Dave Stewart and Pudge Rodriguez and with Dave Winfield, just guys that we know you cross the game. And you're right. It's like just cool to Curtis Granderson to like reminisce. You know what I mean? Reminisce.
Exactly, man. It is crazy, man. I mean, it is such a small community and it is such a small fraternity. Anytime you run into somebody, regardless of how long the individual played for, there is that mutual respect that goes into it.
Dude, I still remember, and Squish, you know how quick life goes, bro. Man, I still remember 2006. You were on base in Detroit, and we started talking. I can't tell you what we were talking about because it was a great, my favorite conversations ever in the big league history. But we were talking, and that was 2006 in the postseason. You were there with the A's, I was there with the Tigers, and like it's funny to think, bro. 16 years later, it's just incredible. And I want to tell the guys that are in the big leagues, hey, bro, like grab on, because it goes by quick.
Yeah.
You think you're more important than you really are. Like you need to get over that too. And because things go by quickly, and it's fun. It's fun to look back and be like, man, that was what a ride, and life continues to be a ride. And I think that's why when I looked at what you did the other, at Yankee Stadium, we don't get those moments. You can't bring 60,000 people to their feet like you could when you're playing. So anytime you get something like that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man, bro. And I threw on the number 99 Aaron Judge jersey, bro. Like so I couldn't help it, dude. They were like, hey, do you want to wear your jersey? And I was like, well, why the hell would I want to wear my jersey, bro? Like, I'm not doing a damn thing right now. I'm going to wear number 99's jersey,
So great. So great, man.
That's awesome, man. Listen, bro, like you're absolutely killing it on MLB right now, which is absolutely so much fun. MLB Network, you, D-Row, Shahadi, Roflo. I mean, like, guys, you have so much fun. I got to ask you, bro, like, is it really that much fun on set? Are you guys having as much fun as it looks like you guys are on TV?
Swish, I know you're in that world a little bit too, obviously, and the way you do it and the way you love baseball is the way I love baseball. And I love being on MLB Central in the morning because D-Row is just, D-Row. I mean,
he's absolutely electric, bro.
Absolutely electric and such a character. And like, he's like the same guy on air as he is off air. It's just like, it's just incredible, dude. It's the greatest job in the world because, it's like you and me talking here, like, or you're talking to your buddies watching a game. Like we get to talk baseball, something we love, break it down at maybe another level because we played it. We know the mental side of it, of being in the box, of what it's like with the game on the line, in certain situations. But there's so many great people at the network that I love working with. I mean, you said Shahadi and Roflo, and you go down, Amzinger and Matty V and just Cliffy Floyd, so many really good dudes, and just very grateful for that job, dude. I think, more and more as we get older, you look at your life and you go, man, I just got so much gratitude more than anything for just every day, man. Every day I wake up, I go, let's go. And then I look at some of the things I've done and I go, I can't believe that was me.
Exactly.
I can't believe I played in the World Series. I can't believe I, was, doing I met some of the people I met and have become friends with guys like you and guys in the game. So, dude, I think Swish, as my time goes on at, my job at MLB Network, nothing but gratitude for where I'm at in my life too.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, listen, I remember when I did kind of like my car wash when I just recently retired, and then, you went to Fox, went to MLB, right? I did ESPN. And the one thing that I took away from MLB Network was the camaraderie. And that was one of the things that I appreciated the most because it felt like we were in a locker room from the moment I walked into the building to the moment I left. Listen, and I know there's a lot of people in that building that maybe have never played the game of baseball, but man, it sure does feel like it when you guys get on there. You guys love each other so much. I just got to give you guys a lot of love right there, but it's a lot of fun to watch. And if D-Row doesn't put you on that World Baseball Classic staff, bro, he's missing the boat, kid.
Bro, I called him. I'm like, D-Row, listen, you need a hitting coach. He's like, well, listen, he goes, Case, they gave me the coaches already. I go, well, you need to make a call.
You need to make a switch.
You got to get me on that staff. I want to do that too. You know what I mean? Because did you ever play WBC?
No, never had the privilege or the honor.
Me neither, bro. Me neither. That's one thing looking back, man. That would have been cool to represent the USA in that WBC because it seems like as the years go on, guys, it's starting to become a bigger deal. I think when it first happened, you're like, dude, I don't want to spring training. I got to get ready for the, games, and I don't want to do that. Now you got Goldschmidt, you got Trout, you got the big dog. I mean, every big time player, is now rolling on board. I told D-Row, I go, bro, there's a lot of pressure on you, man. I go, if you don't win with this lineup, you're just going to get booted out of the country.
You're out, bro. You're out. I mean, because if you think about it, so many players take so much pride in those games, and they take so much pride from being from their country, right? You don't always get the ability to do that. And for all of us, we never really had the ability to play Olympic baseball. That wasn't around. It wasn't available.
Right.
So being able to be in the WBC would absolutely be fire, bro. No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. No doubt.
No doubt. Well, hey, man, listen, bro. This season has been absolutely electric. A lot of amazing things have happened so far this season. I know the storylines that I was keeping my eyes on, right? And for someone like you who has not only played for as long as you have, but you have this incredible lens that you look through to the game in such a positive light, man. What were some of those storylines that you were paying attention to this year?
Well, I mean, obviously it was such a great year, and I know you love the game like I do too. I think it's the greatest game in the world, and like when you see like a team like the Mets, that whole run that they had, you know what I mean? Obviously, it didn't work out in postseason time, but just the run, 101 wins, Buck Showalter, taking over, Lindor and Alonso having the years that they have, DeGrom and Scherzer being banged up but coming back in the end. I don't know. I love that run. That was a great storyline for me. I love that. Obviously, Aaron Judge, man. I mean, come on. Sure. It's a no-brainer. That's why you're wearing 99 out there with the flag ripping in Yankee Stadium, because why wouldn't you, bro?
Right.
One of the greatest seasons ever. And I think that 62 numbers kind of come back into play, because if you look back at the history of the game and you look at the 150 years of the game, the years that there was 60-plus home runs, it was a 4-year period when Bonds, McGuire, and Sosa did it. And, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, their connection to PEDs obviously makes 62 a number where you go back and you go, that's the number. Because the numbers before that, recently in these last few years and before those 4 years where those guys did it, weren't even close to 62. Right. So I think that's why it comes back. So to see Judge do that was incredible. The whole run, the Triple Crown, and I just, and obviously Ohtani, man. I mean, it's incredible. And I think, Swish, you and I both know, man. First off, dude, you were a switch hitter. I always said, dude, I have a tough enough time hitting lefty. Like, I can't imagine switch hitting. Like, my brain would explode. I'm having insomnia. Like, I got to get my elbow up. Where's my load? How about that? Should I leg kick? Should I not leg kick? And if I had to do it on the right side, I'd be like, dude, I got to play another sport. I'm done. Like, I'm not doing that. So to be a hitter in the big leagues and then to be a starting pitcher, and do it at the level that he does it, bro. Like, he's in the Cy Young race. He's going to, be in the top there. He's in the conversation to win the Cy Young. And then he's in the conversation, they got to get another award at some point, because, to do what he's doing, bro, he almost drove in 100 runs, 34, 35 home runs. It's incredible. And so that storyline never gets old for me. I think the only reason Judge is obviously in that MVP conversation is because he's had a historic year. Right. Totally. That has been incredible. So those are the ones that pop into my mind, like, in a big way. The Padres, the Soto deal. I think that kind of like, we were fortunate enough on MLB Central. We broke the story.
Yeah, you guys broke the story. Yeah, I remember that.
He broke it. Yeah, we were on air. We're like, whoa, because Swish, you want to be on air and you want to feel something like that. So when they broke that story, you're like, let's go. We can do 5 more hours. You know what I mean? So that whole thing was cool, and to see them, doing well too has been a fun storyline. So just so much good stuff, man. We could probably go on for days about all the storylines, but those are the ones that kind of pop into my head.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, listen, we had 2 guys, one in the National League, one in the American League, that were going for the Triple Crown, right? Like, something that has been done by like a handful of guys ever. Right. And we almost had 2 dudes pull it off this year. Like, that's something that's almost unheard of.
Yeah, you're right, man. Incredible. Almost 2 guys in both leagues pull off the Triple Crown. And you know how hard that is. It's tough enough to hit homers or hit for average or driving runs, but to do all 3 of them is incredible.
No doubt. You're right. I also think, too, they're going to have to come up with a different award, because a guy like Shohei Ohtani is doing things that no one's ever done. Babe Ruth. We're talking about Baby Ruth, bro, was the only other cat that was ever able to do what Shohei is doing. And the fact that, if it wasn't for Aaron Judge's historic season, they're going to give Ohtani the MVP every single season, if you think about it.
Every single season. And I was saying, what do you do? Does the Hank Aaron Award become, because, I don't know what your take is on this, Swish, but when I see a pitcher win the MVP, I'm like, I don't know, man. To play every day, to play, listen, to play every day is so freaking hard, and the grind in your body, and you're never healthy till after day one at spring training. You don't feel good the rest of the year. So so showing up day after day after day. So when I look at that, I go, okay, like MVP. With Shohei doing what he's doing, is the Hank Aaron Award now become the best hitter?
Right.
And then the best pitcher, and then is the Shohei, does Shohei have to have his own award?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you combine both of those and you go, well, the guy kind of does both at a high level. It's not like he's like some bum here where he's like, hey, guy's got a 5 ERA and he hits 14 homers. But isn't it cool that he does both? No. This guy's an impact bat.
Yes.
And one of the greatest pitchers in the league. He throws 101 mile an hour with a split for your Bush. And
no doubt. You know what, bro? I mean, I guess like listening to what you're saying right now, I guess one of my takes on this, and this is maybe something that could happen in the future, would be the players vote on an MVP. So you can have the writers, they can vote on an MVP, but whoever that motherfucker was that didn't vote for Derek Jeter or didn't vote for Ken Griffey Jr., give me a break, bro. Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? You're trying to tell me that those guys should not have been the most exclusive names? And Mariano Rivera? I mean, come on, bro.
Dude, I agree. I love that because at the end of the day, the players are out there. Like, the players are in the mix. And, like, even, guys, Swish, that you played with that maybe are on the fence. Lance Berkman. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Like, I played against the guy. Yep. I watched him for all these years. Like, and you go look at Edgar Martinez's numbers next to Berkman's. Well, Berkman played the field. Berkman played first base. He played center field, left field. They put him wherever. I mean, sometimes the Puma was all over the place running up the hills of Houston and stuff like that. But, like, at the end of the day, dude, there's some dudes for me that, as a player, watching these guys, that guy's a Hall of Famer. That guy's all, you know what I mean? So, like, I think there's something to be said about the players being able to come in on some of these votes. And Swish, at the All-Star, I remember in 2004, I got voted in by the players on that player vote.
I was just going to hit on that. How much did that mean to you coming from your colleagues than it did from somebody maybe you never ever met before?
Dude, that meant so much to me, that vote in 04, because, I having a good year, they were like, hey, Case, you got voted in by the players. I'm like, let's go. Like, that says a lot, man, because those are your boys. Those are the guys that they watch you every day. They appreciate your talent. So, like, if there was a player somehow part of the vote for MVP or whatever it is, Cy Young, I just think that would mean a ton to the guys that win it.
Yes. Hands down, bro. No doubt. I can only relate to that. Coming from the fan side, 2010, one of my better years, I was up for that last spot for the All-Star game. Yeah. And the fans voted me in. And, bro, that is something I have it sitting on my mantle right up here. Incredible. Like, that was something that meant the world to me because it came from people that actually were paying attention to what's going on, not just looking at numbers, but they were actually invested in what we were doing. So coming from the fans, it was absolutely amazing. I mean, that's why I think being able to have it come from your teammates or your colleagues, that guys that you're battling up against each and every day, I think would mean the world to these guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I love that, Swish. And hopefully at some point the players get more of a vote. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, bro, who is the jackass not voting for Griffey?
I need to find you, bro. I need to find you.
And what are we doing? And what could possibly be your reason? Like, and I want to be like, give your vote in.
Right. Give your name with your vote. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be anonymous.
Accountable. Be accountable.
Right. I totally agree, dude. I totally agree.
You know what I mean, listen, bro. I mean, we're talking about all your, all the great things that just happened. Like you said, when you were able to be selected by the fans for that All-Star game. I'll tell you another phase of your career that you absolutely dominated was exactly what we're in right now. And that's the postseason, bro. I mean, talk to me, kid. Like, bro. 2006, you were talking about it a little earlier. I was on first base and got to see what you were able to do during that postseason. I mean, bro, come on. You hit 410, right? A couple homers, right? 9 steaks, dude. Like, unbelievable. Listen, from someone who struggled in the postseason, and you and I, we are very similar, I think, when it comes to personalities and energy-wise. Listen, cuz, like, what's the secret, bro? Like, what sort of advice would you give these players that are going into the postseason now? And what is the difference between a regular season game compared to a postseason game?
Oh, Swish, that's such a loaded question because it is. You've been down that road. You won the championship with the Yankees, and you've been in those games. For me, man, I was lucky because 2006 was my first year in the postseason. After it was my 9th year in the big leagues, I'm like, am I not going to get to the postseason? Like, am I going to walk away from this freaking game that I love and I'm not going to play one day in the postseason? So when I got there, I remember telling Justin Verlander in 06, he was a rookie in Granderson. I pulled him aside one day. I go, hey, listen, don't think this just happens. You may never get back here again. You may never get back here again. I'm telling you, I've played 9 years in the big leagues. It's my first taste of this action. You may and take it all in. And one thing the greatest thing for me was like, you understand the game. You can't teach experience. Like the process that I learned as my career went on, like how to slow down, how to get in the box, how to make Randy Johnson, look a little more mortal as I took it. You know what I mean? Like as a veteran player to hit the postseason was huge for me because I was like, okay, I got to control the controllables. I can control my breath. I can control hunting the fastball. I control the plate look middle away, react in. Like because the energy, what's crazy is the energy of the postseason. When you take the field for batting practice on day one, whether it's the DSCS, or the World Series, it's incredible. You feel the energy right away and you feel the fans, you feel the media. So it's like, oh my God. So I think it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I got to find a way to slow it down even more to really get in the moment. I got to win every single pitch until this postseason's over. And Swish, you know how this game goes too, bro. At the end of the year, I started getting really locked in. Like the last 6 games before the postseason started, I just had a good flow. I was really being aggressive with my foot on the gas, and just really hunting the heater. And my vision just was like, I got into a drill with Andy Van Slyke, bro. Andy Van Slyke was 40-something years old at the time. He was our first base coach, and he still had a cannon, Swish.
Bro, he was doing those commercials with Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie,
like,
bro.
Boom,
you know what I mean?
Nutrigenics or whatever. Yeah. Nutrigenics. So, dude, Van Slyke is so jacked, and he's throwing a million miles. So we did this drill, Swish. In batting practice, he would get the batting practice distance in the cages. He would throw it as hard as he could. I swear to God, bro, it was like 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And the drill was, you're going until your eyes tell you no. Yes, 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 till your eyes tell you no. For whatever reason, man, that drill locked me in about a week before the postseason started. Next thing I got in the postseason, I'm facing guys throwing gas, and I'm thinking, that's not harder than Andy Van Slyke's been throwing to me the last
Yeah. Yes.
So it just, dude, I got locked in. I was so grateful. The game just slowed down for me. And I had one of those moments, bro, in game 4. I hit a home run off Jeff Suppan in St. Louis, and I hit the ball into the bullpen there. And Swish, I'm rounding first, bro, and it's like it was an out-of-body experience. I was rounding first, and I remember all those moments playing wiffle ball in my backyard growing up here in Upper St. Clair, thinking, Sean Casey, homers in the World Series. Sean Casey, homers in the World Series. So when I'm rounding first, I'm literally like, oh, my God, my parents are here, my family's here. I can't believe I just homered in the World Series. Like, just felt like Deion Sanders from one time in my life floating around the bases. You know what
I mean? Yes. Bro, I had that exact same feeling in Philly, dude. I'm rounding the bases, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, what did I just do? Like, what just happened right there?
It's incredible, right? It's incredible.
It is one of those amazing feelings that you try to explain to people, and you try to tell them exactly what was going through your mind, but it's such a jumble because there's so many things that are happening. You're just like, oh, my God, bro. Like, listen, I mean, if you're looking at the postseason stars that have come on throughout the years, right? That David Ortiz's of the world, right?
Yes.
A-Rod, obviously, I remember had that absolutely electric. Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera. I mean, like all these dudes, right? Like, was there somebody that you saw that you kind of, that the postseason kind of really got to them, right? Like it really kind of chewed them up a little bit. They were such a different player from the regular season into the postseason. Anybody kind of pop into your mind on that?
Well, I look back at our World Series, like I just felt like, like we lost in 5 games to the Cardinals, but we had those 6 days off. I don't remember. We swept you guys. Yep. And then we
thanks for bringing that up, bro. Appreciate that.
Sorry, bro. But yeah, you ended up winning it 3 years later, so you're good. You know what I mean? But it was like, dude, we sat for 6 days, and you look at the postseason this year as far as like, hey man, who knows if this being in the wild card game isn't a a positive because you're still playing ball. Like, we're creatures of habit, bro. We need the reps. I need the rhythm. I need to play every day. So when I look back at that World Series in 06, you just, not that they, watching Maglio Ordonez struggle in the World Series, who basically hit 360 that year.
He hit everything, bro.
Everything, dude. You couldn't stop him. And then, like, watching Pudge Rodriguez scuffle. And, I just look back and it's so frustrating because of two of the best players in our generation. And I'm just like, dang it, man. Like, you look back and you're like, man, you really wanted, you want the superstars to come out and play on that stage. And, I look back at 06 and I'm like, man, it's just, whatever it was, it just didn't work out for us in that series.
Well, I mean, bro, this brings me into the new playoff format. By the way, you hit the nail on the head for the very next thing I want to talk about, man.
Yeah.
What do you got on this new format? Because let me just give you a personal opinion of what's happening right here.
I want to hear it.
I think that you get that it's not a good thing to win the division and to have the best record in the league because, like you said, you've got 5-6 days off. I mean, look what happened to the Astros. Although they're moving on, they didn't play that well. I mean, you're telling me the Houston Astros scored 1 run in 18 innings against the Seattle Mariners? I mean, bro, like, you were hitting the nail on the head. You were talking about the rhythm and the timing of everything. Explain to the listeners exactly how that comes to be.
Dude, you're nailing it, Swish. I feel the same way because you go back and look at those first series. Listen, the Braves and the Dodgers are hands down the best team on the freaking planet, and they're playing great baseball. They're playing great baseball, right? And all of a sudden they run into a buzzsaw. So you're like, oh, wait, what's happening here? The Phillies come out, bam. They just had a 1-2 against the Cardinals, but they're still rolling. They come out, bam, they throw the first punch. You're like, oh my God! And all of a sudden the series is over, right? And you're like, man, the Phillies just came in. Are the Phillies that much better than the Braves? No, but here's the deal, because I've been there before. With that 5-6 days off, come on, Swish. Bro. You know at the All-Star break, when you don't make the All-Star team in those years, you go home for 3 or 4 days, you come back. There's a little rust. Those first couple of days, you're like, all right, I gotta get your BP.
You need an off day for the off days, bro.
Exactly, dude. Yes. You need an off day for the off days. So, like, for these guys the 3-game wild card series, the first time they've ever done this, you go back and, dude, the Astros, if it wasn't for Alvarez hitting that 3-run bomb, they should have lost game 1 and game 2, right? They Service let Alvarez beat them. Then they go 18 innings and they win, 1-0 or whatever. So I agree. Like, I just feel like it's going to tell us as we move on with this system, is winning the division a positive or a negative? Because as creatures of habits, as baseball players, we do not like off days. We are grinders for a reason. There's a reason you play 162 games in 180 days, where we got that crazy mentality of, no, I want to play.
Yep.
I want to play. So you go back and look at that series, the Padres beating the Dodgers too, come on, man. And listen, not saying the Padres aren't a good team, but the Dodgers just did not show up. Yeah. And all their big guys, Mookie Betts didn't hit well. Freeman didn't hit well, so Turner was the one guy that kind of showed out, but I don't know, man, because Swish, you don't have time it's the postseason. Right. So if you lose even one game on the fact that you're not ready, you're going to lose that series.
Yes, totally.
I
mean, bro, I'm 100% with you, bro. I mean, obviously, I think we're both on the same page when it comes to this. I mean, listen, I understand Major League Baseball is trying to make our game better, and I am all for that. And we're trying to get in more of our players, which I think is great. I still think for some reason we tried to get Mike Trout into the playoffs, and it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's another storyline that drives me crazy. Like, okay, let's punt. Angels, let's punt. Let's get him out to the Yankees or get him somewhere where at least we can see this guy in postseason play. Get him to the Braves. Right. Get him to some team is going to dominate every year,
Yeah, and also, too, I mean, if you're thinking about it, think about what they're also doing in the postseason. Come extra innings, it starts off a clean inning. No runner on second base. Now, all of a sudden, you're struggling to find ways to score runs in the extra innings, and it's a totally different game. So I'm wondering, and from your perspective, do you think the guys, they enjoy that runner on second base, or you think they just enjoy the overall just clean innings of what extra innings are now?
I don't think that's a great question, Swish. I think probably the guys nowadays that are getting that guy on second base during the regular season, okay, this is good. We got a shot. We could even, you're even seeing more bunting in the postseason or even during the regular season, that guy on second, you're like, oh, the bunt. Oh, we've been doing it for 150 years and it really does work. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say like, hey, bunting's just another out. I was like, well, why are they doing the postseason now when runs are at a premium? You know what I mean? Like,
because a 3-run homer, it's not as prevalent. It doesn't happen as much in the postseason. But you know what does happen? Sack flies and ground balls, right? And those score runs too, man. It's like, even, when you're looking at even the style of play that you see teams, like, not everybody's hitting that 3-run homer. So what's going to happen if you're not hitting the 3-run homer? Are you just going to continue to beat your head up against the wall? Or are you going to try and make some adjustments? When's the last time you've seen a hit and run go down? You know what I mean? Like moving runners, like things like that. Listen, I know and I understand metrically that it's not the play, right? I get that. I understand what the numbers are. But at the end of the day, those work over a 162 game span. They don't work in a short series of 3 games, Right. And, dude, and you said it, man. Runs are a premium. And by the way, brother, I want to score as many runs as possible, bro. I don't care if it's the first inning or the 9th inning. I'm going to tack on as many runs as I can, because you saw what happened to the Seattle Mariners. You saw what happened to the New York Yankees. Runs are a premium in the postseason.
You're exactly right, dude. And listen, brother, I love that game. I love it. And you saw Bryce Harper get a bunt down. You saw Juan Soto get a bunt down. You got the star players in the league saying, hey, man, we got to win this ball game. And if it turns into me getting a bunt down, the guy get the third, so a sack fly, because you're right. Hey, bro, the reason these teams are here is because they got great people on the bump. At the end of the day, they're the best pitchers in the game. Yeah. And great pitching shuts down great hitting every time. So at the end of the day, you got to find a ways to get a single here and there. You got to find a ways to beat the shift, get a bunt down, sack fly. That's how you're going to win games. Now, are guys going to run into balls? Of course, you're going to have your Alvarez that run into balls here and there. I almost feel like don't let those guys beat you. There's a few guys in each of these lineups that can beat you with the long ball. So I don't know, man. I think it's a better game when we're doing that, when we're bunting, when we're moving guys up and getting guys in. So maybe that starts to come back as we start to realize, hey, that really does work.
No doubt. Well, we were also thinking about the rule changes moving into next season, right? I mean, the shift is going away, which I know left-handed hitters, bro, and yourself. I'm not sure if they were doing the shift as much right before you ended your career. I caught it a little bit at the end of my career, and it was miserable, bro. When I'm hitting absolute rockets to the right side of the infield, and there's a fucking second baseman standing 50 feet out in the grass, bro. It's the absolute worst, bro, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because, what do you want me to do? You want me to change my swing and start fisting balls to the left side? I mean, that's exactly what the shift is made to do. It's to alter your swing. So I'm thinking they're trying to bring back the athleticism a little bit, making the bases a little bigger, which, I mean, may not be a big thing for most people. But if you're talking about a couple inches, that's the difference between a stolen base and a not stolen base. So dude, I'm really interested to see exactly what new rules are going to work and what new rules are going to make it better.
I totally agree, Swish. Also, as a first baseman, bro, I broke my back one time with the Pirates. Play at first base. I went to get a pick. It kicked up on me. There's not a ton of room over there if you're not stretching out. No John Mabry hit me with an elbow, broke 2 of my transverse process at first base. So that's part of how many times, Swish, you played over there. You get your elbow in the way or you're going to the tag. And, having a couple more inches, might help everybody on that. I like that a lot. The shift, I agree. They started it. Tony La Russa used to shift against me at the end of my career. It didn't mess with my mind. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I'm a line-to-line guy, gap to gap. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I was like, why do they have all these guys over here? Roland's playing short. I'm like, this is incredible. So I like the changes. And I also, dude, people talk about, hey, the 15, 20 seconds with the pitcher and the hitter. Listen, I always say, in the NBA, would you like the NBA if there wasn't a 24-second shot clock? It would be it's a different brand. The 35-second or 25 in football, getting a playoff, it's a different brand. Guys are going to get used to it. And I think it'll be better, just a better game, watching it go through. And I think Theo Epstein and the guys, Rob Manfred, that have put it together, they tested it in the minor leagues. And I think that's why we're going to see these changes. And I think they'll be good for baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, listen, bro, I think 80% of the major league players right now have already played with a pitch clock. Right? Yeah. So the more and more guys that come up the ladder and reach that professional level, the more normal it's going to be. And by the way, the pitch clock, hey, for my ADD, bro, watching a baseball game, it's absolutely awesome, bro. Like constant movement, keeping the game going. Like I absolutely think that's one of the better things. I mean, I'm interested to see how it works, but I do know how it works in the minor leagues. and it's been absolutely awesome, man.
Yeah,
I understand people, you're talking about the money aspect, people, making sure they can watch the games and get there before 10 o'clock. Everybody usually shuts the games off. I mean, 10 o'clock, bro, that's like 2 hours past my bedtime these days.
Me too, bro. I'm in bed at like 9. I'm tracking my sleep. I'm like, I got to get 8.5 hours. I'm like, that game's on late.
Exactly, man. Listen, bro, we're here in the postseason right now. I guess what's one thing that we should keep an eye on this postseason, right? Like, what's something that most people aren't talking about and something that we should pay attention to as baseball fans and as listeners?
You know what? I mean, I think there's a lot of storylines that we're looking at here. And I think, I think it's just, I think one of the things, right when you say something that pops into my head, for whatever reason, the Padres come into my head. Right. They just do, because to beat the Dodgers and the Soto trade, and they gave up the farm for him. And, to see this team somehow come together and pull it off, I think that's the postseason in my mind. That story, wouldn't it be incredible if the Padres got past the Dodgers? They're like the little brother that just, bam, they just keep getting, Hey, Johnny, boom. You know what I mean? So they finally got one in the kisser. They're 14 years old now. And they got one in puberty. You know what I mean? So the Padres, man, are a team that just pops into my mind. Going to be interesting to see the run that they make, and can they win it all?
Yeah, listen, obviously, I bleed pinstripes, man, and I'm always pulling for the Bombers, and I always want them to have a successful season. And listen, it's been 13 years since they've been able to bring a championship back to the Bronx. Right. But one team that I was really, really counting on, and one team that I was pulling for with my heart, was the St. Louis Cardinals, brother. For everything that Albert Pujols was able to do with Yachty, Waino. Come on, bro. All the magical things. Goldschmidt and Arenado had those epic seasons. Yep. That was kind of one of those teams that I thought they were going to show out, man, in the postseason, and it didn't end up working out for them.
Yeah, I thought they were going to too. Goldie really got cold in September and kind of carried into the postseason. Arenado kind of struggled down the stretch too. But you're right, man. Watching Pujols do what he did, get to 700.
I could have kissed him square on the mouth, bro. I was like, the fact that not only did he get to 700, he got to 704, bro.
That's incredible.
That's something that people, bro, we're talking about one of the greatest right-handed bats to ever play the game. Ever. I think it's either him or Miggy Cabrera, or two of the best right-handed bats I've ever seen. And for him to be able to do it for as long as he has, and not only that, what else pumps me up about Pujols, bro, is that not only is he one of the best players to ever take the field, he is one of the most badass, humbled individuals, bro, I've ever been around, man. I could not be more happy for the success he had this year.
No, he really is, man. He really is. And Swish, think about this. You know how hard it is to hit 25 home runs. You know how hard it is to hit 300, driving those runs. He hit 35 home runs for 20 years.
I know.
If you really break it down, 35 home runs for 20 years, that's 700 home runs. And then he added on 4 more. It's incredible. And as a player that obviously I was fortunate enough to play against him a lot in the NL Central and watch him when he first came up in 01. And I remember him hitting balls to right center going, I can't hit him that far as a lefty. Oh my God, this guy's crushing balls to right center. So it's been really cool. One final story, Swish, on Pujols. I'm in the All-Star game in 04. I'm sitting in the food room. It's me, Mike Piazza, and Scott Rowland. We're getting ready to go out for BP, and Pujols is dominating that season. And Rowland gets talking, and I said, Scott, what is it, man? You play with him. You're the third baseman of the Cardinals. What is he? He goes, Case, it's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. He says, it could be July in Kansas City. We could be losing 9-0, and he comes up in the ninth with 2 outs. He's going to grind just as hard that at bat if it's, the World Series game. The guy doesn't waste one pitch. And Swish, how hard that is to do night in and night out. So when you go back and look at Pujols' numbers, especially in St. Louis when he's hitting 340, 350, driving in 120, 45 home runs, you know why? This guy is a killer, man. He doesn't waste one pitch. And at the end of the day, we look at his numbers now, Swish, and we have the conversation, say maybe the greatest right-hand hitter of all time.
Oh yeah, hands down, bro. Listen, it has been an unbelievable, crazy season, bro. And I tell you what, I gotta get your take on this because you're one of the best analysts I know, and I love listening to you explain the game, articulate to the fans exactly what's going on. Listen, so I guess the mayor, Mr. Sean Case, I want to play a game with you right now, right?
Yeah.
The free agency is going to be absolutely on fire this offseason, right? So I've got a list of players who are free agents this year. You tell me what team you think they might end up on next year.
Wow. Okay.
Right? Now, this is all up
yes.
in the air, right? This is all like just speculation. We don't know for sure. All right,
I'm pulling out my team list right now. So
all
I
right,
don't
man, I got
teams.
it. I think I got 8. I got 8 names here written down. Okay. Right now, you tell me. Here we go. I'm going to start off with the man, the myth, the legend, the unicorn himself, Shohei Ohtani. Where will he be in 2023?
Wow, 2023. I think he'll be with the Angels. I really think he'll be with the Angels. He has one more year. Right? So I just can't imagine them moving him right now. Maybe at some point, but I think at the beginning of the year, you're going to see Shohei Ohtani still with the Angels.
Yeah,
and then with the Yankees.
Oh, come on, baby! We'll take it, bro. We will take him. Him, Garrett Cole, Ron Judge.
Let's go.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Number 2, right? Los Angeles Dodgers shortstop had an absolutely unbelievable season. In my mind, he is a game changer. Trey Turner, where will he be in 2023?
Wow, he's a game changer. It's tough because I guess like nowadays you have to realize who can afford these guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's a big part of it. Wow, that's a great question. Let me go. Bogarts is going to be back in Boston, I would think.
Yep.
Where I'm looking at all these good places to go. Maybe Seattle.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, Seattle's making a run.
What about Seattle? I know who's their shortstop, J.P. Crawford.
J.P. Crawford's there this year.
But at the end of the day, it's Trey Turner. So you say, hey, we're going to find a place for you to play, J.P.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're bringing in Trey Turner because, dude, they could use a big time veteran like that, a guy that's a game changer on the bases, defensively and offensively. So that pops out at me when I go up and down, or maybe the San Francisco Giants.
That's what I was thinking, right? Take him down, right? San Fran, bring him in the Bay. Listen, don't get me wrong, man. They've been absolutely awesome. He is right up Gabe Kapler's alley. Bro, if I was a manager, he'd be up my alley for sure, bro.
Big time.
No doubt, man. Anybody that gets a guy like
and
Trey
Swish,
Turner.
They're going to get somebody. The Giants are going to make a splash. They have to in this free agent market. So, I know people talk about Judge. If he doesn't go back, maybe he ends up out in San Fran. But they're going to make a run at Trey Turner.
Yep. Okay, what about stud this year? Was hurt for most of the year for the New York Mets, right? Their number 1 starter. Listen, I know Max Scherzer could be their number 1. But in my mind, Jacob deGrom, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I know he's had a tremendous career. He's thrown a lot of bullets, but I think he's got a lot left. Where do you think he's going to end up?
I think he ends up with the Mets. I think Stevie Cohen has so much freaking money. He's like, what the hell? What's another $400 million? Amongst friends? You know what I mean? So I think DeGrom ends up back there in New York. They know what they have. Just the problem, Swish, is he hasn't been healthy. He hasn't really stayed healthy. And you look at his body, how lean he is and stuff, and you just wonder, is that going to be a trend that continues? So, but I really think DeGrom's going to end up back with the Mets.
I do too, man. I wish he came over to the Bronx. Listen, being able to have someone, you imagine the Garrett Cole, Jacob DeGrom sort of matchup, little nasty Nestor, bro. Oh my God, that'd be absolutely fantastic.
So nasty.
All right. He just opted out of his contract. I thought that he would, only because I know that wasn't the deal that he wanted to sign, right? Shortstop for the Minnesota Twins. Carlos Correa, another stud shortstop.
Right.
Listen, you got Bogarts, you got Trey Turner, you got Correa. All these shortstops are up for free agency. Where do you think he's going to go?
What about the Cubs?
Bro.
The Cubs at some point, they got to start building this. Correa's still very young. He's a winner. He's showing that he's one of the best in the game. I just feel like maybe out there in Wrigley, dude, especially playing in the NL Central, he could, make some noise. So the Cubs are the one team that kind of pops out for me for Correa.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that call. I think that, everything that he is, even though, listen, he was an Astro in 2017, bro. It's definitely still fresh on my mind.
Right.
But you're right. He is a winner, and he is absolutely electric, and he can definitely fill a slot, man. In the middle of the lineup, he could be a leader for that team, and I think that's exactly what he wants to do. Okay, what about this one? What about this guy? You know what I'm saying? Right? A little Edwin Diaz coming at you, bro. A little Narcos, dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. A little Timmy Trumpets, bro. Where do you think Edwin Diaz is going to end up next year?
You got to be kidding. You know what? That's a great question. Because everyone needs Edwin Diaz.
Everybody needs Edwin Diaz, bro.
Dude, he's going to Philly. He's going to Philly, dude, because Philly's got the team to win now. They've been looking for that shutdown closer. Edwin Diaz could be their guy. There's no doubt about it. But I also think Stevie Cohen, what's it amongst friends again? Let's bring him back. Because I got so much money. He's going to be the new Steinbrenner of the 80s and 90s. You know, George Steinbrenner was like, yeah, let's go buy him. So I wouldn't be shocked, too, if Diaz doesn't come back with the Mets.
Yeah.
But if not, the Phillies would make sense to me.
Well, by the way, I mean, listen, the Phillies went out. They brought back David Robertson, who was an established closer for so many years, to be able to have him in the 8th inning and Edwin Diaz come in the 9th inning. I mean, now, you know, they're using these guys in different situations. So to have these high leverage guys is only going to be able to help, man. But I love that call. Rob Thompson signed that 2-year deal. Could not be more proud of my man, bro.
You were with Rob. Yeah. What's he like? What's Rob like?
He is the shit, bro. Like, he is, you know, it's funny, man. As much as Joe Girardi was such a huge individual in my life, he's the absolute opposite from Rob Thompson, bro. Right? Like Rob Thompson
Joe's so serious. So serious. He lifts more weights than any player on the team. Like, Joe, you're more jacked than any player on the team.
No doubt. Eating the same breakfast since like 1965, bro, for sure. You know what I mean? But he's one of those guys that I think he's going to be absolutely amazing as a manager. The players love him. Kevin Long, my hitting coach in New York, is over there as well.
Long.
I'm interested to see if K. Long's going to get a managerial position this offseason.
Does he want to manage? Does he want to manage?
You know what, man? I know. You never know, right? I mean, I haven't had the chance to talk to him in the last couple months. I don't know if anything's changed, but I definitely think he would be one of those guys that would be up for some of those jobs. I think 5 different vacancies are open as of now. Wow. And after this postseason, there might be more. So you never know, man. You never know. And I got one more guy.
Awesome. Yeah, give it to me.
One more guy. And I think that he was one of the guys that kind of they left out, right? Like they cut him short. Dansby Swanson, bro. Like the fact that the Braves haven't locked this dude up is incredible. Absolutely ridiculous to me, dude.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. And the years that he puts up, and obviously they say he's one of the best teammates, stand-up guys. But they got who's the shortstop they have? The young kid that obviously is a stud. I think that's the reason. The reason why they're not bringing Dansby back.
But he stepped in for Ozzie Albies since he's been down and done a tremendous job.
And done a great job. Yeah, you could keep him. Yeah, Dansby's unbelievable. And good for him. And real quick on the Dansby side, I mean, what a terrible trade that was back in the day. Shelby Miller,
my God, right?
For Dansby Swanson, like, whoopsies. That's a big miss. Like, sorry, Diamondbacks, you just gave up a franchise shortstop. Other than that, that's other news. But I think, when I look at Swanson, you're naming a lot of, you got Turner, you got Cray, you got Swanson, some of the best shortstops in the game. So he could end up in Chicago too with the Cubs. There's probably a lot of different places he could end up, maybe in Philly, but Milwaukee, maybe, when you look at Swanson, man, he's going to make a team better. And I'm just like you, Swish. I'm like, how are they locking up all these guys, but they're not locking up Swanson?
Right. I mean, he's like Magic Johnson to me, man. Wherever he goes, he's going to make the team better. He's just one of those guys that just makes everyone around you better. He's a good-looking kid. He's a classy kid. I mean, he's somebody you want in your organization because if I had if I had a young boy, I would want him to be looking up to a guy like Dansby Swanson, man. Such a great role model.
There's no doubt, dude. He's a stud. He's a stud.
And the last guy I got, bro, you know who I'm going to ask you about, right? Number 99 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts, Mr. Aaron Judge. Do you think he's going to remain a Yankee?
Well, I want to ask you that, Swish, bro, because you know Cash and you know all those guys better. I really would like I'm going to switch this over to the Mayor's Office podcast. What do you think he's going to be back with the Yankees?
Yes. Okay.
You do?
Yes,
and why?
I do.
Why?
And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because Hal Steinbrenner knows how important Aaron Judge is to our fan base. And the fan base means a lot to Hal. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we are a very business-oriented team, and obviously we put ourselves a little behind the eight ball by not being able to get that contract done before this season and him having this historic season. No one's ever said no to $200+ million and somehow found a way to make more, right? You know what I mean?
It's incredible. It's incredible. No, what's amazing is, too, him betting on himself. You know what that's like? Yeah. You already have enough pressure, let alone like, I'm going to turn down 210 or whatever and go see if I can do better. I'd be like, I'd probably throw up a 207 career, like 10 bombs. Terrible. Yes. Like, oh, man, I should have taken the money. You know what I mean? Like, even Soto, you look at Soto now, like, dude, you turn down 450, like, you better get it going, bro. You can't walk your way to 450. Yeah, but you gotta get some knocks, So listen, I'd be shocked if Judge doesn't come back to the Yankees, because I agree with you, man. This guy is special. He's, a pinstripe all the way. But if not, and he decides to go test it, because, that whole thing with Cashman early in the year, I think ruffled a little feathers in Aaron Judge with kind of throwing the numbers out there and doing how they did it. I didn't think it was that classy. You might see him as a San Francisco Giant. I think
maybe. But listen, he's been wearing those sweatshirts, New York or nowhere, right? I mean,
really? Oh, has he?
Yeah. So, I'm paying attention to that, Yeah. And not only that, I'm going to go a step further. Not only do the New York Yankees re-sign Aaron Judge to a monstrous deal, right? Maybe one of the bigger deals, only because you got to think, man, he's going to be 31 at the start of next season. So you can give him, 8-9 years. And Trout's probably making the most as a position player now at like $37 million a year. Right. So say you give him 8 years at 38, 39 a year, right? Not only do they sign him to a deal like that, they make Aaron Judge the next captain of the New York Yankees, brother.
You think so?
Talk to me, baby. Dude. I do too, man. I think
he's the dude, and Swish. It's tough to have players like this guy come along. Like, it just happens to be he's in pinstripes. You got to be kidding me. Yeah. So, like, if there was anybody character-wise, the way he handles himself, the humility that he plays the game with, how hard he plays the game, he's really that guy that you can look up to. If you want to put a captain on Aaron Judge, I love it, man.
No doubt, man. Throw a C on his chest, bro. I think he deserves it. He's done everything that we've asked him to do, man.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Do it.
I love that, man. No doubt. Well, hey, Kate, I got one more little segment for you, and this is a fun game that I play with my daughters. We have this book. It's called Would You Rather, and it gives you two options. You pick the one that works best for you, okay?
I love it. Awesome,
all right, baby, here we go. It's called a little swish or that, brother. A little this or that, swish or that. Here we go. With the mayor, Sean Casey, baby. Here we go. Question number 1. Would you rather fly or be invisible?
Bro, I'd rather. Oh gosh, that's a good one. I'd rather. You know what? I'd rather be invisible.
Okay.
Because then I could kind of like, they're like, where'd Case go? He's in bed. Hey, where'd he go? He's in Portugal. He's like, you don't know where I'm at. I just poof. I just go invisible and I'm out of here. So I'll take invisible.
I'm flying, bro, because fuck the airlines these days, bro. I'm flying everywhere, dude, myself. I'll be like, yo, Case, you want to go to the game? Hop on my back, bro. Let's fucking go. All right. Yes. Are you a hot dog or a hamburger guy?
Bro, I'm a hamburger guy. A little lettuce, tomato, a little mayonnaise and ketchup on there, real nice. Give me the double burger too, American cheese. Let's go. And give me the potato bun toasted with butter on it.
Ooh, talk to me, baby.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Are you a shower guy or a bath guy?
Oh, I'm a shower guy. I try to be a bath guy, but I do enjoy a good bath. Like, I should be doing it more, but like every once a year I get in the bath. But I like to shower and get in. I get out too, bro. I go underarms, the lower regions, and go back here, and I'm out of there.
And you're out of there. I love it, man. I love it. Okay, are you a messy guy? Or are you a neat freak? Because from looking at your background you got right there, it seems like you go in the neat freak category.
Well, dude, what's crazy is I used to be a messy guy, and as I've gotten older, I've become more of a neat freak. I wouldn't say I'm a neat freak, but I'm definitely more organized than I've ever been in my life. But I used to be like my sons, who I go in their car, I'm like, are you serious, bro? Like, frick, it looks like a nuclear bomb went off in here. Like, clean it up, show some pride. Meanwhile, I'm like, that was me when I was 19, 20 years old. I was the same guy.
I couldn't agree with you more. That makes me laugh so much because I'm like, bro, I was that same guy. My dad would be like, Nick, what happened to your car? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Now those are the things that I say to my wife. I'm like, Mama, what's happening in your car, baby girl? What's happening in here? You know what I mean?
So funny. Why are there 7 Chick-fil-A bags in the back seat?
She's like, don't you tell me what to put in my car. Don't you tell me what to put in my car. Okay. Are you a night owl or a morning guy?
Oh, I'm a morning guy, man. I like to go to bed early, get up early, kind of do my, like my routine now. Like, I like to get up and journal and, Peloton, lift weights, and all before the kids get up at 7. So I'm a morning guy. I like going to bed early and getting up early.
No doubt. I feel like now, once kids pop into your world, that's the really only time you get the me time is really early in the day. So if you're going to get that workout in, you're going to journal, you're going to meditate, you're going to do whatever you need to do. You better get that shit done before the kiddos wake up.
Win your morning, win your day, Swish. Win your morning, win your day. That's the bottom line.
Bro. Win your morning, win your day, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it, bro. The all famous question, are you a window seat or are you an aisle seat?
Oh, dude, I'm an aisle seat, bro. I'm 6'3", 6'4". Like, I can't, and I got leg cramp. I'm the leg cramp guy. I'm like, what leg cramp? Where's the potassium, magnesium? I'm like, so like, I'm an aisle guy 100%. The window makes me feel like too tight, man. And I love to drink a lot of water, Swish. So I'm always having to take a piss. So like, nothing worse. If I'm the window guy, bro, I always say to the guy, bro, I just want to let you know, it's gonna be 2-3 pisses on this flight. Like, I apologize. Then you got the old guy sleeping. He's out cold. He's drooling on himself. You're like, I got to wake this guy up or I got to try and dive over him. You know what I mean? And hurt myself.
It's the most awkward thing when you have to wake up that person next to you. Be like, hey man, I'm sorry, bro. This might be the last time, but I'm not sure. You know what I mean?
Do you want to switch? Now's your chance.
Exactly. All right, I'm gonna take it back to Upper St. Clair, bro. Right?
Yes.
Back in the day, did you dominate? Were you a prom guy or were you a homecoming guy?
Dude, I was homecoming king, brother.
Oh, talk to me. I knew it. You're a handsome motherfucker, bro. I knew it, bro. I knew it.
I was homecoming king, so I'm more of a homecoming king guy. Hey, I was homecoming king in high school and in college.
And in Richmond, too.
In Richmond, yeah. I don't know if you're supposed to tell people that, but I was. Let's go.
I mean, bro. There's no doubt, bro, that you were the homecoming king, bro.
So ridiculous.
King.
So ridiculous.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. Okay, are you a text guy or are you a phone call type of guy?
That's a great question, bro. You know what? Texting pisses me off sometimes because I'm like, I can't tell you recently how many times I go, dude, I'm just going to call you. This is ridiculous that I'm, doing all this stuff. So like, I think I'm more of a call guy with the important people in my life.
Yeah,
a text guy when I really don't want to talk to you. Like, I'll just like, hey.
Totally. I was going to say, okay, like on top of that question, is there a person in your life that you only call? That you don't text, you only call.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my mom, because she's the worst. It'll take her 75 minutes to get me hey, honey, I love you. Like, I'm like, I'll just call you. Mom, I call my mom every day because I'm like, I can't take her texting. It's incredible. So, yeah, only call my mom.
All right. And the last question on Swish or That. Do you believe in book smarts or street smarts?
Ooh, that's good. Well, I believe in both because I believe readers are leaders, right? I believe that. But also, dude, you can't teach experience. So I can have all the knowledge in the world, but if I don't have the experiences and I haven't taken action in my life, it doesn't really matter. So at the end of the day, I'm probably more of an action guy, like, and if I have them both, then I'm a killer. But if I have the experience, it's better to me than just having the knowledge.
Bro, I could not agree with you more. Man, bro, Case, you are the fucking man, dude. You are absolutely amazing. Yo, Sean, thank you so much, bro. I'm so glad we got you on to talk about the postseason and what to keep our eye on as baseball fans. And, man, these predictions for next season, bro, I absolutely love those. So, please, Aaron Judge, stay in New York, kid. For real, man.
Please do. Please do.
And, guys, be sure to check him out on MLB Network all postseason long as well as next year. And do yourself a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Get out there and check out his podcast, The Mayor's Office. You will not be disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean, the Mayor, Casey, the homecoming king for Upper St. Clair, brother. I mean, my man, Case, bro. Thank you so much for being here, brother. You are an absolute pleasure to be with, bro. I've loved you from the moment I met you. Now, the fact that, like, I watched you playing as I was coming up the minor leagues and be able to spend some time with you, bro. You are everything and as advertised, bro. Love you to death, man. Best of luck to you and everything you're doing.
Swish, it's mutual, brother. Like I said, when they had asked me, hey, can you go on Nick Swisher's podcast? I was like, tonight, I'm ready. I'll do it in 10 minutes. I'll do whatever, dude. One of my favorite guys, bro. You epitomize living life, and the energy you bring to everybody is incredible, to me included. Thank you, bro. I love you, and I'm looking forward to doing this again at some point. I'll have you on the mayor's office on my podcast, and we'll run it back, brother. We'll run it back.
Sounds like a plan to me, baby. Sounds good, Kate. I'll see you soon, brother. Man, what an interview. Man, my guy's approach to life as well as the game of baseball is absolutely inspirational, man. And also, that guy's energy, oh my God, so infectious. One more thing before we close out the first ever episode of the Nick Swisher Show. If there's something in life that I appreciate, it's people stepping up and doing the right thing. Listen, it's not always easy to do, and sometimes those people don't get all the credit they deserve. So that's exactly what this segment is for, to highlight and to take note of all the amazing things that people are doing in this world. We titled it, People Are Fucking Rad. Let's go. All right, let me tell you about Megan, a pregnant firefighter from Baltimore County, Maryland, who was just 1 week shy of her due date. She had just gotten done hosting her late father's second annual golf tournament when she was involved in a significant motor collision. So what does she do? No, she doesn't worry about herself. She doesn't worry about her baby. She exits her mangled vehicle and immediately starts providing care to a person trapped in the overturned car next to her. She didn't worry about herself. She worried about others. And 24 hours later, she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Megan, I hope that little girl you gave birth to comes out with some sort of superpowers or something, because that's exactly what she deserves, having a mother like you. It's because of your selfless actions that you are fucking rad. Next, Sir Rod Stewart, man. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but he is renting and furnishing his home to a Ukrainian refugee family of 7. He will be paying for their bills for an entire year. Man, Sir Rod, talk to me, big guy. We need more people like you out in this world. And Sir Rod, that's what makes you fucking rad. Or maybe you didn't hear about Mackenzie Scott. You didn't hear about this lady? She donated $84.5 million to the Girl Scouts of America. Are you kidding me? $84.5 million? That is absolutely mind-blowing. Mackenzie, unbelievable donation. I know you're going to do so much for that organization, and I know they are so honored and proud to have you associated with it. Mackenzie, for your donation, that's why you are fucking rad. Or what about my guy, Ned Brockman, my homie Ned Brockman from Australia? You heard about this cat? He raised $1.5 million for the homeless by running 3,800 kilometers. Are you kidding me? Listen, I had to look this up. That's 2,361 miles. I don't drive that much in a car, man. And this cat's only 23 years old. His quote was, "No one should not have a bed to sleep in this country when we have, we have everything at our fingertips." Man, Ned, brother, you are an inspiration to so many, and that's what makes you fucking rad. Woo, man, I love that episode. I'm sweating right now. Thank you to all those people that are doing so many amazing things. I can't wait to come back here next week and just plumb you guys up on the amazing things that's going on in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this first ever episode of the Nick Swisher Show. Man, woo! Man, thank you guys so much for being part of all this. And thank you so much to the mayor himself, Mr. Sean Casey, for being such an amazing guest. Next week, we've got an incredible guest lined up for you. This guy is going to absolutely blow your mind. He's all about intention, living your life in the moment, and asking us all, what can we do in 23 seconds? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you guys next week. Spread the love, y'all.